Draw near. Hello, I'm Reverend Ruth Vann Lillian. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of the Emerald Coast. We are a covenantal community founded on loving kindness and a common devotion to our free faith. We recognize all the earth as sacred ground, and we welcome each other into this virtual space. We especially welcome those visiting with us today. We are so glad you're here. We invite you to check out our website and our Facebook page to learn more about us. We hope to touch hearts, teach minds, challenge spirits, and comfort souls. May you find refreshment and restoration in our service today.
With humility and courage born of our history, we are called as Unitarian Universalists to build the beloved community where all souls are welcome as blessings and the human family lives whole and reconciled. With this vision in our hearts and minds, we light our chalice.
Good morning. It's time for another Time for All Ages. So I'm going to imagine that I'm in the sanctuary and that there's all of these children sitting in front of me who are a lot younger than I am. So some of you sitting out beyond the children will remember something about this song that I'm going to tell you about today. This song was in a movie back in 1959. So how many people remember 1959? I was very young. I was probably about Helena's age. And it was a movie. It starred Frank Sinatra. And in the movie, so this was when there was only Disneyland in California, and there was not Disney World in Florida. And in the movie, the big dream and the hope of this character was to build a Disney in Florida, which seems really funny now because it seems like it's always been here. But this song in 1959, in the early 1960s, was on every little children's record that was recorded. And of course, it was originally recorded in the movie by Frank Sinatra. And I can't sing like Frank Sinatra, so we're not going to try that. But the song is called High Hopes, and it's about having hopes, even if it seems like you might not be able to do anything. So I'm going to share my screen. And this is the first part of the song. And it says, next time you're found with your chin on the ground, there's a lot to be learned, so look around. So you thought I was going to sing this to you, right? Well, okay, I'm not Frank Sinatra, but I'll give it a go. So it goes. Just what makes that little old ant, that one, think he'll move that rubber tree plant? Anyone knows an ant can't move a rubber tree plant, but he's got high hopes. He's got high hopes. He's got high apple pie in the sky hopes. So anytime you're getting low, instead of letting go, just remember that ant. Oops, there goes another rubber tree. Oops, there goes another rubber tree. Oops, there goes another rubber tree plant. So there's another couple of verses to this, but I just wanted you to think about having high hopes. And every time you have high hopes and high apple pie in the sky hopes, and anytime you're getting low, just remember that ant. And remember that this song has been in my head since 1959. So keep your hopes high, high, apple pie in the sky hopes. And I'll bring you another story another time. Probably not sing, but I'll bring you another story.
Friends, let us consider the needs in our community, the joys and the concerns of our friends and comrades as we spend a moment of silence together, and then I will close us with a few words. As we face the deceptions that are thrown at us, as we struggle with the injustices that we observe and experience, as we wrestle with the temptation to give up, let us take heart. We have a voice. We have our individual voices, and we have a collective prophetic voice. Let us find hope and strength, remembering that we are part of a powerful community, and we can find ways to make a difference, to make things better. There is much to look forward to. Amen. Shalom. Blessed be. These things shall be, these things shall be. A loftier human race than e'er the world hath known, nation with nation unarmed shall live as comrades free, new arts shall bloom, and every life a song shall be when all the earth is paradise. These things shall be. What is this? Some kind of poetic, Unitarian, Universalist, utopian vision of the world as it might be? Or could be? Pie in the sky, right? I like pie. Do you like pie? These things shall be. In her 2016 article for the UU World entitled A Record of Things Wonderful, lifelong Unitarian Universalist Chris Wilcox ponders on why she and her husband Scott cannot seem to get themselves and their two young kids to church on a regular basis. Chris explains that she is an atheist with a powerful need for rich spiritual nourishment. Scott is still recovering from a childhood of religious misery and abuse with a Christian label. And the social and ethical supports of a Christian community appeal to him. But with what Chris describes as the detox program, whose primary function is to bar the door and heal the wounds of bad religious experiences. While she claims an appreciation for the refuge offered by UU churches, she admits, it also made me weary of church experiences that were, at heart, a refusal of religion, the church of no. Is our fellowship such a place where damaged people limp in to be comforted and healed of their previous negative religious experiences, and the members hide away to be safe from the threat of oppressive religious influences all around them? With the exception of my 3 seminary years in Denver, I have lived in the Southeast all my life. I grew up attending Methodist and Christian Science Sunday schools every week, and I went to a Catholic high school, and I also followed a boyfriend into a charismatic fundamentalist church for a while. So I have been around the Christian block a few times, and I sport some spiritual scars for it. So I get why this fellowship is a refuge for so many of us. I understand what a remarkable discovery it has been for many of us to find a church where we can say what we really think, and we can ask all the scary questions, and we can disagree with people out loud and regardless of what deity we believe in, or if we believe in deities at all, we are welcome here and safe from judgment and worse. This haven we've created must look pretty good because there is such a joy in freedom from tyranny of thought and belief. If you've been out there living and breathing the narrow, limited, pressured religious atmosphere that we all encounter at work, at school, in the markets, in government offices, at the gym, in the park, then of course, walking into this place among these lovely people feels so liberating. These things shall be. But there's COVID and the Delta variant, and since we can't get together face to face right now, what is the point of talking about a UU paradise on earth? How can people discover how welcoming a haven this is if the doors are always closed? Why bother with pie in the sky dreams during a crisis like this? Let's talk about something called the prophetic voice. Now, don't confuse prophecy with fortune telling. Prophecy is an ancient concept that is even more relevant today. A prophet declares to all who will listen important truths insofar as they can discern them. Frequently credited to divine sources, prophecy may be heard and seen in speech, writing, song, visual art, and theater. Such are determined to be prophetic because they express certain basic and undeniable truths. Think of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech, his famous speech, "I have a dream." This was prophetic, a declaration of how the world should be and can be. Now there's some good pie. And remember our young poet laureate Amanda Gorman serving up some of that same amazing pie in her inaugural poem, "The Hill We Climb." The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light, if only we are brave enough to see it, if only we are brave enough to be it. So is there a Unitarian, Universalist prophetic voice? Well, consider our 7 principles. Now, this is the kids' version, right? Each person is worthwhile. Be kind in all you do. We help each other grow and search for what is true. All people get a vote. Build a just and peaceful world. And we take care of the earth, our home. These principles constitute a consensus of conviction among the many thousands of Unitarian Universalists around the world. These are steps to transforming the world into something like a paradise. They are guides to becoming our best fully human selves, to interacting with each other with compassion and justice, to building communities which nourish and nurture full humanity and can work to renew the world around us. And aren't we desperate for renewal? Aren't we hungry for the peace of paradise? That's some pie in the sky worth reaching for. During these times of crisis of the COVID virus, there are some truly crazy things happening in our schools, in our government, on social media. There's so much untruth, deception, misinformation designed to cause pain and suffering. Do we Unitarian Universalists have anything to say about it? Once we have discovered the refuge from spiritual and religious tyranny and found our tribe and done some resting and healing, some learning and searching, some relationship building, all of which is vitally important, what then? These things shall be. The Florida Panhandle needs more UUs. There are churches and religious centers all around us. We are one religious community in a sea of such communities. What do we have to offer? What difference can we make? How shall we use our prophetic voice to share our dream of paradise on earth? If we want our fellowship to grow and thrive, what more do we have to offer those who will flock to our doors when we can reopen them? They will come for the safe haven, for the liberation, and they may stay for a while, but for the long haul, there must be more. There must be meaning and purpose. We must have a compelling mission. While we are all on our individual journeys seeking truth, we must have a unifying purpose for which we can work together to help transform our broader community. Believe me that while there are some who look with suspicion on Unitarian Universalists, hungry people are always glad to get fed, and vulnerable people will always need advocacy and protection, and victims will welcome more folk fighting for justice, and our prophetic voice will be heard through our presence and our works. These things shall be. There are people out there who are Unitarian Universalists and just don't know it yet. They need us, and we need them, and this larger community needs all of us. How do we reach them in the time of COVID? How do we help them find us? These are difficult questions, and I don't have all the answers, but I know we cannot give up or give in. The community needs to hear our prophetic voice now more than ever. Chris Wilcox offers this inspiration. Wonder may in fact be the center of our prophetic message. It strikes me as a word uniquely suited to our purpose. It is a noun synonymous with amazement and awe, and describes both attitude toward and experience of remarkable phenomena in the world. It is also a verb expressing a state of questioning, a hallmark of our tradition. We UUs learn to comfortably and ably slip back and forth from wondering at the extraordinary to wondering about the extraordinary, and we so often find that amazement leads to questioning, and that answers lead back to amazement. I did not acquire this reliance on wonder by myself. I learned it in Unitarian Universalist communities, and it is part of a UU heritage I hope to give my children, says Wilcox. Possibly, probably, we will decide this can only happen if we show up at church and set our casserole down at the table of the beloved community. This is more than neighbors, I think. More than friends, which we have, or a good school in a friendly town. None of these are places for intentional conversations about love, justice, or wonder. Our churches are. That is at the heart of our prophetic message. We can live out our principles and share the possibility of a paradise of wonder. We've just got to find new, creative ways to do it. Pie in the sky? Why not? I like pie. Don't we all like pie? Amen. Shalom. Blessed be. These things shall be all to peace, and with the world hath known shall rise with flame of freedom in their souls, and light of science in their eyes. Nation with nation, land with land, and none shall live as comrades free. In every mind, in heart shall throb the pulse of one humanity. High friendship nearer to us sing, or by great poets half divined, shall burn us star within, the clear calm spirit of the mind. New hearts shall bloom of love to move, and light your music thrill the skies, and every life a song shall be, when all the earth is paradise.
The reverence that gives to life its sacredness, and the purposes that give to life its deep significance, be strong within each of us and lead us into ever-deepening relationships with all life. Amen. Blessed be.
Siblings and kindred, as we leave this space we have shared together, let us remember that we are none of us alone. Our voices are not crying out unheard, but together we have a prophetic voice to declare the undeniable truths of the power of love, of reasons for hope, and that work for justice must continue. Let us go in peace.